fairly innocuous by itself, but if you don't have a rifle that fits that magazine, why do you need it? I think in most daily police and customs operations post-border, we find firearms. The fact is, firearms are the weapon of choice for the apex predators that are these organised crime people. They're not afraid to use them anymore.
It's actually, a pretty horrific environment to operate and work in. If you thought about it, in terms of that stress, the danger under which they operate.
The danger from organised crime is constantly evolving. As gun laws tighten in New Zealand, criminals are now looking to bring in parts from overseas to start building their own guns. A customs intelligence report obtained exclusively by the Herald says organised criminal groups have high intent to illicitly import prohibited parts.
The key thing for us is, if you don't have a gun licence, why are you bringing in a magazine for an AK-47?
Bruce Berry is the manager of intelligence for customs and says a steady stream of parts come across the border without proper paperwork.
But it's not a full functional firearm.
No, it's parts. So parts can be anything from a spring to something like this, which is a silencer.
Why do you care about this?
So this is a cleaning kit for an M3 machine pistol.
Right, so a machine gun. Whoever's bringing this in doesn't have a permit to bring this in.
Correct, because it's been seized.
The report says the Firearms registry will make it harder to illegally obtain firearms domestically, which could result in criminals sourcing more firearms from overseas.
It's like drugs, squeeze the balloon. If we target one particular area, it'll pop out somewhere else. As we control the domestic supply of firearms, it's going to pop up. Where's the logical place it's going to come up is at the border.
There are 5 main ways criminals are illegally getting guns: from family and associates. A straw purchaser is someone who buys a firearm for the purpose of then selling it to a crime group or gang member. There are targeted burglaries, manufacturing or building your own, which would include 3D printed firearms, and illegal importation of parts to build or convert firearms. It's the last 2 areas that law enforcement predict will become an increasing problem. Even air guns that fire plastic pellets can be made lethal with a few parts and instructions from the internet.
This is a plastic air pistol. It's going to be destroyed. The importer does not have a permit for it. The concerning thing about this is that it looks like a real firearm, and in fact you can convert this into a proper functioning firearm that fires bullets, and so it's important this type of thing doesn't get into the wrong hands.
There's evidence of organised crime groups and gangs assembling guns inside New Zealand, making them here, right? When you start to see those manufactured pistols and that, it gives you a sense of just how tight the market potentially is in there around particularly pistols. They really want to get pistols.
Why do they want pistols?
Easy to conceal.
Greg Williams is the head of the Organised Crime Group. He's been a police officer for more than 44 years and represents New Zealand on 3 Australasian groups which focus on disrupting organised crime and the supply of drugs and firearms. 3D printed guns are becoming more common and have been seized on multiple occasions, including during a recent warrant executed in Dunedin.
Well, it was actually a drug-related warrant at the address, and they came in there and found that they were in the process of manufacturing firearms in there. So that's the key. You can buy a printer, you get the files off the internet, and you can start to produce.
Semi-auto. What's the rock and roll, baby?
This is video uploaded by a licensed 3D firearms printing company in the US, which says it does not sell to the public. The gun being fired here is not a traditional M16, it's made largely from plastic and was produced by a printer. In the US, laws regulating the manufacture and sale of 3D guns vary from state to state. They are illegal in New Zealand, but 3D printed firearms are turning up here more frequently.
Is that an evolving threat?
Yes, it is, absolutely. So we are seeing are ramping up in the manufacturing of those.
The latest figures released to the Herald show since 2018, 58 3D printed firearms and between 200 to 300 3D printed parts have been seized by police. And the 3D guns are becoming more reliable.
They've got it massively better. You know, back in the day, you'd be lucky if they fired one shot if they could do. Now they're rapidly moving to you can basically produce one that's virtually a machine gun.
He says police want to make it illegal to download and possess 3D gun blueprints or instructions.
There's a range of things that we'll look at in that space.
Could that involve introducing laws where people are charged?
Yeah, potentially, absolutely.
The report states it's possible 3D printed firearm part imports will occur to evade import regulations and assist in firearms assembly.
They're interesting in the way they look too. Some of these look like firearms, some of them look like toys. So that's another concern for us.
Then there's the issue of blank firing guns or starter guns used for events. And what are known as airsoft gel blasters, toy guns which fire gel pellets as opposed to plastic ones. However, police say some versions of both the blank guns and the gel guns can be modified to fire real bullets. Williams wants them banned.
You can bring those in at the moment,
Yeah.
lawfully.
Yeah.
Do you want to change that?
Well, obviously we do.
Have you sent information to the Minister's office?
Oh, that's all going through our policy team here, firearms policy team down there. So yeah.
But you'd
100%.
like to see it banned?
100%. You know, they don't have any value here. I mean, the starter pistols that come in that actually start races that can't be converted, we have no issue with, obviously. But the others, of course, we want to stop them.
Move, keep your hands up! Hands on your head!
Australia's already moved to make easily converted guns illegal.
They outlawed the carbine revolvers a long time ago. The blank firing guns have been outlawed. The gel blaster stuff, some states have basically dealt to those.
It's not just about firearms, but the ammunition too.
The interesting thing is across the world, you know, there's ceramic ammunition and potentially plastic ammunition, you know, that can evade systems.
He says it's all about identifying technology and trends and acting before the gangs.
But we want to be ahead of the game, not behind it.